Hey guys, good morning. Welcome to a sort of overdue morning routine. I haven't done one of these in over a year, so I thought it would be interesting to do my updated morning routine that I've been doing, kind of the morning routine that is keeping me really productive these days. So it's 7:43 a.m. right now. I got out of bed around 7:15 a.m. I aim for like 7:30, and I walked Zoe this morning. Just kind of like chill. I never try to rush into something like working out. Never have been a morning workout person. Usually that's just like me trying to get work things kind of moving, and I'll get more into that. And if you're not already subscribed, maybe today is the day that you subscribe to my channel, and we welcome you to the family. All right, now let's make some coffee. The coffee situation has kind of evolved. I, for a very long time, was using this machine, which is the TK02 by Terra Cafe, and this is a fully automatic espresso machine. So it does Americanos, lattes, cappuccinos, black coffee. You can even do coffee from ground. If you're in a pinch and you don't have beans, you can put ground in the chute and it does that. This is a great machine. However, the minute it turns any sort of spring month like it is now, it's about to be April, I am fully in cold brew mode. So I have seen ads all over Instagram for the Cumulus machine, and this is a cold brew machine. You literally just put a bunch of water in here, and then it kind of sucks the water up into what I imagine is a bigger reservoir in the back, and then it keeps it cold, ice cold. And then you put a pod in here. What I like is that these are recyclable. I think they're aluminum. That was from yesterday. And in here, I have my little stack of pods. And this morning, honestly, I have not been able to taste the difference at all. Let's do a light roast. I literally cannot tell the difference between any of them. Like I try to, and I can't at all. So you just take this, pop it in here, pop. Then you can do still, you can do nitro, or you can do a cold espresso shot. Okay, now that coffee is out of the way, I am going to make breakfast, which is usually some sort of variation of eggs, or I make these protein pancakes. We're not doing that today. Today we are doing eggs. There's an egg shortage in the United States, so depending on where you're watching from, eggs are a commodity. So I have been trying to get the eggs that I like, and I have them right now, which is these Vital Farms eggs. Those are usually the ones I try to get always, and so we have those. And we're gonna do an English muffin. I like these Dave's Killer Bread ones. And then we're also going to do basically making avocado toast. And so on top of that, we've got some guacamole, like these little cups. Now I'm gonna sit here and enjoy this. Almost lost an egg there. I like this Elijah's hot sauce. So I'll put some of that on. And usually if I'm very hungry, which this morning I am, this is what hits the spot. I also take some supplements. I take Nutrafol. I've been taking that for like a year. And then I do Ritual, but I'm actually getting off of Ritual after this one because I didn't realize that Nutrafol is actually a multivitamin in addition to like helping your hair. And then I take Hims. It's all preventative because why not? It is 8:24. This morning routine is taking a little bit longer because I'm filming it. But what I will do next is I use the UGG Monk analog. So it is this cool little tray And in it, you have all these cards that are like today cards, they're called. And you basically just write out your to-do list. It's 10 tasks. It's very effective. And then the nice part is once you write out everything you need to do, you can prop it up on this thing like this. And then it just sits there staring at you the entire day. And I find it very motivating. And I also find it sort of a little more intentional to write these things out. I've even written out the next day's things that I want to do the night before or whenever I finish working for the previous day, so that when I get to my desk, I'm like, I know what I'm doing. Or just like going into a day knowing what I'm doing is very helpful. By the way, if you're unfamiliar, I run a pet portrait company. We sell these pet portraits. And I started this company in 2019, and I've been doing it ever since. It changed my life. We just sold our 1 millionth portrait, which is very exciting. And right now what's keeping me busy with this is I just hired a CMO. I have been doing all the marketing myself from the very, very beginning. And I kind of had an honest, not conversation with myself, but I kind of had an introspective moment where I was like, am I really qualified to be doing the marketing for this company? And the answer was no. When I came into it, I worked in marketing for 10 years and I felt very confident that I could do it. And I was, but times have changed, things have shifted. I mean, like the whole TikTok of it all has come into this, and ironic, I am a TikToker and a content creator now, but you know, my creativity is kind of being pulled in that direction too. And I want some fresh eyes. Long story short. So I did hire a CMO and he has been wonderful, and he's about a month in, but there's been a lot of projects that we're sort of like figuring out like what's he going to work on first. And he just presented a sort of like lay of the land and looking at everything that we're doing, and I'm feeling really inspired and happy about it all. So I can't wait to see the progression of the projects that we're working on. So I'm going to check in on that. I have a meeting at 9 a.m., so that's in about a half hour. So I'm going to get some work done now. And then at 10, I'm going to my trainer. I also said I would mention this. I like to wake up. I like to do my coffee. I like to do my breakfast. I like to wake up when there's some sun in the sky. I don't like waking up pitch black. I'm not a 5 a.m. workout person. I'm not a 5 a.m. wake up person. I'm just not me. Never has been. I've tried to do it. I don't have to do it. I work for myself, work from home. So why am I forcing myself to do that, right? Because I saw someone else on YouTube do it. So maybe this is your sign that you don't have to do that if you don't have to, right? If you have to wake up early, you have to wake up early. I totally get that. But if you have the luxury of sleeping until 7, my God, that's what I do. So I like to have my breakfast. I like to have my coffee. I like to come sit down at my desk. I like to get through my emails, clean up the inbox a little bit. I like to write out my to-dos that we're going to do now. And then once I'm ready to like, okay, I know what I have to do for the day. I'm going to take a pause. I'm going to go to the gym. I have my trainer at 10. That's what we're doing today. Let's write out those to-dos now. Okay, that call went well. Talking to developers is kind of like talking to a car mechanic when they tell you that something's wrong with the inside of your car, but you would never know, and you just have to kind of trust them. That's what talking to a developer is like when they're like, oh, your backend software needs to be updated to these new services and things, and you're like, oh, really? So I'm very fortunate that my older developer is sitting in on these calls to advise me because I trust him, and so he's kind of giving me like the tip off. So we're going to connect later today to talk about what we learned now, but I am almost running late for the gym with my trainer, but not yet. So let's go pick out some gym clothes. I normally wear my Oura ring all day long and I sleep with it. It's actually new, like within the past 2 months, and I do really like the data. But when it comes to working out, especially with weights, you can't wear the Oura ring. It just gets in the way. It's gonna get all scratched up and gross. And I also just prefer the data from a watch, like an activity tracker watch, for me, Apple Watch, when I'm working out, because I want to see my heart rate in real time, and I want to see how long I've been working out and the calorie burn, and I just like to have the screen for the real time data. So talking about high maintenance, but I switch when I work out from my ring to my Apple Watch. All right, back from the gym, just had a good shower. Now I'm gonna do my everyday skincare routine, which honestly, I'm excited to share with you because I've recently just, in my mind, perfected it, and I'm very excited to do it every day. And there's also a nighttime version, but we'll just save that for the nighttime routine. When and if I do that, let me know if you wanna see that. Maybe like this video if you wanna see a nighttime routine, and I'll take that as an indication. Anyway, let me show you what I do for just everyday daily skincare. Skincare starts with face wash, and this is the face wash that I use. It's the Allies of Skin Molecular Silk Amino Hydrating Cleanser. I found this one on TikTok. I saw a girl talking about it on TikTok, and then I started to see other dermatologist TikTok people talking about it as well. And they were like, it was the top of their list for things that they like. It leaves your skin feeling really, really soft. I'll leave all these items linked below, by the way. So that I did in the shower. Then I start with a serum. I also use this Allies of Skin serum. It is pretty silky and just, I don't know, it leaves my skin feeling really soft. Obviously, I love the benefits of these products and using them, but if it leaves my skin feeling soft and hydrated, that's usually gonna be an indication that I keep it. So I just kind of like, this is the most boy application ever, just like rubbing it on my face. Normally people do like on their hand and then they dip, boop, boop, boop. I don't do that. All right, then I do my favorite moisturizer, and I know this is really bougie, but this is the Augustinus Bader Rich Cream. This is the most luscious, beautiful moisturizer. I have not been able to find anything like it. If you do, let me know, because maybe it's cheaper than this, but like, look at this bottle. I mean, this is like insane. You know, crazy. So I take about 2 pumps of this, and then I rub it into my fingers, and then, all right, that's on. Then I go in with sunscreen. This is the OneSkin sunscreen. I like this. It's really light. It doesn't smell like sunscreen and gets the job done so you don't get skin cancer. Last is the Retrouvé Revitalizing Eye Concentrate. This is an incredible product. It's like, imagine a lip balm for your under eyes. It is extremely hydrating. At nighttime, I use a pea-sized amount, and during the daytime, I use about half that because it does take time to fully hydrate. And during the day, you don't want to look like you have like wet under eyes, but overnight, whoa, it's so hydrating and it just feels really, really nice. Like, I'll show you how much I just put on, like literally nothing, that much. Little goes a long way. That is also a really expensive product. I understand that that is not for everybody. And to that, I say to each their own. But for me, I really like this product, and it's actually really well reviewed too. I don't know if you can see how there's like a slight like shine under my eye, but that's it absorbs and it goes away. All right, that's done. And then hair. This is my everyday. It has been my everyday product for years, and I just like that. I like the way it dries. So right now it's gonna go in, it's gonna look a little bit wet, but within like an hour, it dries and it looks just like movie star coif hair. And you can still run your hands through it throughout the day. It's not crunchy. It's just like a really nice, pliable, moldable product. And I did actually shampoo my hair today, so it's gonna be a little bit drier than I'd like, but I just had to shampoo it. I try not to shampoo every day. And then you probably noticed I have a little pimple that formed overnight there. So when I get that, which is honestly not too frequently, I'm very lucky with my skin, I will put this on it or a pimple patch, but today we're doing this. Back in the office now. Thank you guys so much for watching this morning routine. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you want to see more routines like this in the future. Please subscribe if you're not already subscribed for more weekly videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.